ready to learn how we did 120K in 30 days without spending a dime on ads, how you can do this for you as well. Let us know in the comments below. This is going to be an engaging thing. I'm really excited for today. We're going to cover all sorts of different things. So, engagement is energy. We're huge on energy. If you're watching this, I'm sure that you are too. So let's talk about this. Like, who is this for? This is really for the impactful coach, the leader, the world changer. We don't fit in because we weren't made to, right? You probably, ever since you were a kid, did not fit in. Guess what? You were not made to. We were made to stand out, because together, that's how we shift the consciousness vibration of humanity. Humanity is in a shift right now, and us as coaches, as leaders, as impact-driven souls are here to really make a difference with people's lives. So if that's you, awesome. I'm glad you're here. I'll tell you what, quantum impact and evolution is inevitable for us, right? It's why we're coaches. I'm sure that you have an incredible story, and you have been able to overcome so much, and that's why you're a coach today. It's why we're entrepreneurs. It's why we're out to really make a contribution in people's lives, right? We create wealth from a place of wisdom rather than just empty numbers. So we're going to be talking about numbers, and numbers are super important, because if you don't have the numbers, then you can't create the impact at a higher level, right? So we're going to talk about some big things today, and I want you to be in this energy of like wisdom, energy, and making a difference and making an impact with people's lives, right? That's what this is all about.
Yeah, we talk about our results every great while, not because we want you to be like impressed with us, but just to inspire to see what's possible, to see like what that allows you to do. What would $120,000 in 1 month allow you to do? What kind of contribution could you make that maybe you couldn't now? What kind of impact would you be able to make that you can't now? What kind of freedom would that allow you to have that you don't have now?
Yeah, and now we've done it, so we know what to do, right? It's always important to have people who know what it is that they're doing. So let's just share a little bit about us and what you're going to discover tonight. So what you're going to discover, we're going to be really talking about how to create an evergreen marketing machine, right? So that you can attract, enroll, and like create your coaching business that's in alignment with who you are, without launching out, without burning out. So we're going to talk about that.
Creating consistency. Let me testify. If you want some consistency in your business, drop a comment if you want consistency in your business, because that's
Get off the roller coaster.
Get off the income roller coaster where you're jumping up and then crashing back down and jumping back down. Maybe because you don't have a system, maybe because you are the system, and if you don't work, you don't make any money. So that's the thing. So
yeah, speaking of systems, we want to make sure that we're enrolling clients without being pushy or salesy and spending hours on sales calls, right? So we're going to talk about that a bit. And then we're also going to talk about the energetics and the mindset blocks that keep you playing small, the things that are really in the way, and you really being in alignment with who you are at soul level, in your gifts, in your like divine flow is huge. So we're going to go more in depth into that as well.
So who are we? So my name is Chad Oxhead, and in my first day of my senior year of high school, I got a phone call. I was hanging out with a girl, and I got a phone call that it was my grandmother. And she's like, your dad just had a massive heart attack, and he's on the way to the hospital. Don't speed. And after driving 90 miles per hour to the hospital, I got there, and my dad had already passed away. And one of the things that I realized at that moment is that the only thing my parents ever thought about was money. And I kind of had this like declaration that I wouldn't be like them. I would actually have, resources and money, and I didn't have the vision of impact that I do now. But I basically rebelled for years. I actually didn't graduate high school on time. And I remember my very first entrepreneurial venture was being in summer school with all kinds of people, and they every day I would pick up a dozen of donuts, and I would sell them in class. And one day, two kids picked on me and wanted to steal my donuts, and I was like, no, and I ended up actually getting into a fight and sent down to the principal's office, and they told me one more strike and you're out of summer school, you're not graduating high school. And which, what was whatever. And so that was my first entrepreneurial journey, was selling donuts in high school. Then I got into real estate and lost, I got two foreclosures in the real estate market when it crashed in 2008. Then I became depressed for 2 years, where then I had to find somebody that could help me pull out of it. I ended up getting into some therapy and getting a mentor, and they were able to pull me out of my depression. But then I didn't know what to do with my life. And so I went and got a job, and I got into sales, and I sucked. I remember actually sitting on the toilet, like with hair falling out of my head, because I was so stressed out because I was terrible when I first got started. But then when I realized that the faster you move, the more results that you get, the more chances I have at results. And I started moving faster in selling, in door to door, and I started having like massive results. And then I moved on to other things, and I ran sales offices, and I ended up becoming where I was having people hire me out of state to come out of state to run their sales offices. And I did that until I was sitting there in an office listening to a guy that was making $80,000 a month. And he said, I work 60 hours a week. I drive 2 hours one way to the office, and you need to work hard like I did to get to where I was. And I'm like, if I have to work that hard to get to that point, because this guy was like at the pinnacle of that career, I'm like, this is not what I want for my life. I walked away, and I had been looking at internet marketing. I looked at running a business online, and I didn't know I didn't have the courage to jump in at that time. But I walked away from that job, and I actually went and lived in a hotel room for about a week because I didn't have enough money to fly back to Michigan. And and I was able to make enough money to fly home. But then I lived with my mom for 6 months, where I basically worked my door-to-door business, but online. And I was able to make enough money to replace my job. And then I was able to have my first $10,000 month, and then my first $100,000. And then I made a few $100,000. And then I was like, this is not fulfilling just to make money online. And I wanted to make an impact. Who wants to make money, but really is out to make an impact? That's where I was. So I started doing my own events, and they were a hot mess. They were helping people, and people were getting amazing results, but I was running by the seat of my pants. And then I did a retreat in the Dominican Republic for $10,000, where 7 people showed up, which was awesome. I was so stressed after that because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to run events. I was just kind of putting this all together by the seat of my pants. Which who would like to have 7 people show up at a tropical event and you not knowing what you're doing? But
no, this is so fun.
Yeah, well, at the time
I actually remember that. So we've been connected for quite some time. We were friends. We met in that industry and around that event. I think you wanted me to pay $10,000.
Totally. Yeah, I did. But what I ultimately did, we've been friends for a while online, and then I ultimately put like a declaration on the world. I need to find a business partner to help me be organized, and a partner to help me to create this vision. And at that moment, a friendship switched from friendship to something more, and then we launched our stuff together, and it was amazing.
And here we are. Okay, so we're sharing all of this and all of our story, and I think it's important because I know you have a story too. And it's important to know who you're learning from and where are they coming from? Where are they getting their information, right? This is what we're going to show you today is not a bunch of rumbled things that we just put together on the internet. Like, we've been in the trenches and we've been doing this for years. So collectively, we've been in sales and marketing for, not collectively, each of us have been 15 years of beautiful sales and marketing
17.
experience. It's been 17.
Yeah.
I'm aging backwards, so we're going to stick with 15 and I'm okay with it.
Sure.
So let me just share a little bit about me and where I come from, so you get a full picture of, who you're learning from, because I think that matters. So my name is Holly Oxted. I actually came from a lot of trauma. I think that's actually why, trauma healing. We're very trauma. We've been in this journey together. We are very trauma informed because of it. So I was out on the streets by the time I was 15, a single mom by the time I was 20, and had no support from anyone. So I didn't know what else to do. My only option at the time, but I thought that I saw, was I went into the entertainment industry. I was actually in the entertainment industry for like 7 years, and knew that it didn't work, right? I won't get into all of the details. I'm going to cut this short. One day I'll have a book about it. You can read everything that happened and all the twists and turns that went in there. But I knew I needed to make a change, and something had to give. And so I did what every person thinks they're supposed to do to get their life together. And it must be college, because college is the answer, right? If you went to college, high five, great. And it's all good. So I ended up dropping out of college because I got an opportunity to be a salesperson and sell advertising for a local marketing company where we only worked with local businesses. And I totally jumped on it. I actually loved it. I went from it was a brand new business that was just building up to a clientele of over 368 people in the first year. I climbed up the corporate ladder, so to speak, and was vice president of this company. And it was incredible until one day I decided to go and pick up lunch at a restaurant and slipped on one of the beverage machines and dislocated my hip and cracked my got some tailbone damage there. And that twisted my life into a completely different direction. I had a neurological switch where my fight or flight response went on overdrive and it wouldn't switch off, resulting in something called complex regional pain syndrome. That created a whole different battle of myself between doctors and spinal blocks and ganglion block, all of the messes. Landed in a hospital bed, was told I may never walk again. And that was when I went to my search of how do I create a business online, because I was not out for victimhood of okay, now I'm going to be on disability in my life and poor me and what do we got to do here? And so I literally started making videos in my hospital bed of my journey and what I was going through. And people started watching my videos. Oh my God, people are watching me. And I started attracting a lot of different types of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of bigger names in different types of industries. And I just studied ferociously. I don't know any other word. While I was down, I could not move my body. I studied funnels. I studied systems. I studied digital marketing. I studied alt copy. I studied all of it. And meanwhile, I was learning the tools to be able to bring myself back to health. I was out to have a business that worked for me so that I could be healthy for my family and walk again. So, moving into, I discovered Dr. Dispenza and the quantum field and being able to connect into the quantum field and to be able to create whatever it is that you want in your life. And that's exactly what I did. I wanted a quantum transformation. I needed a quantum transformation in my life. And because of that, I totally got my quantum transformation in my life. I'm actually training to run. I'm not going to run the actual marathon, but I'm training to run like I could run a 5K marathon currently. We're very healthy. I'm super into biohacking and eating healthy and taking care of your body for performance and using energy into everything that we do. Right. And it wasn't always that way though. As I got healthy and I joined Chad and we joined forces on this mission together. We had this agency together. It was amazing. And Chad's this powerhouse guy that is going from you get a funnel, you get a funnel. And we were just getting all of these, we're getting all of these clients, which was incredible. However, my leadership skills were not what they are today. And it completely burnt me out to the point where I was having seizures. And I had a real doozy of one. It was about, we don't know, for 30, 35.
I'd like to, so I actually came in, I came home and she'd been seizing for a while. It was, and I have no idea, but when I was dumping CDB down her throat and electrolytes and trying to pull her out of this seizure, and when she came out, she looked at me and she said, "Where are we?" And she was startled. And then she was like, "Who are you?" And my stomach just dropped. And I didn't know what was going to come from that. And over the next, 3-4 months, we had to basically rebuild you from scratch. And so she didn't have any memories of her kids. She didn't have any memories of who I was. She didn't know where we were. She didn't know about our business. And it was to the point where she had to go back and look through past client files and through results that we've gotten clients and who got results and who didn't get results. And that's actually what we're going to be getting into next, is what she discovered. She discovered really what works and what doesn't work, and talk about the objectiveness of being able to.
Well, so I know that you're a coach, so you understand that every single thing that we do in our life, we create some sort of story behind it and we make it mean something, right? So when I was healing from my brain trauma, I was getting memories back. Eventually they just started coming back, and then I got to handle every single memory. That's a different story. So what I was able to do is I was able to look at our business and learn very objectively, because I didn't have the stories behind it. And it literally created our entire methodology of what we're going to show you today. I just got to see when this person did this, they got results. And when this was missing, they didn't get results. And when this happened, that was amazing. And so our entire model and our entire methodology, the reason we shared this story with you is how we got this model. And we've been, using this in our methodology and with our clients for literally years now. We've been honored to help hundreds of clients be able to put into place what you're going to discover here in just a few minutes. We're going to flip over.
Yeah, we're going to do a clothing change. So, wardrobes, we're divas.
In the spirit of all authenticity, when recording this, we did not record the first intro part. And it's important that you know who you're learning from and why the information came to pass. So with that, if you notice, we're in different shirts and our hair might be a little bit different. All is well. But let's get into, are you ready? Let us know in the comments below. Are you ready to see this model, see what was discovered, see what you can discover? Because ultimately, we're setting this up for you to discover in your business. So yes, this is how we did it, but that's great. Ultimately, this is for you, right? So how does this benefit you? You're going to be able to literally see every aspect of what it is that you need to get to 100, if it's 100K a month, if it's 50K, you're going to get the whole view and exactly what you need to focus on for your individual business. This is going to be so good. Make sure you have a pen and paper. Let's get started. All right, so now you know a little bit about us and our background and where we've come from and how long we've been doing this. Ultimately having those brain traumas and healing from that brain trauma was probably the most important thing that ever happened to me. I have zero regrets. How many of you guys know, and I'm sure your coach is your coach because you have a story and something that happened to you and you were able to overcome it. And because you overcame it, it created your entire existence of what you do today. Well, that's really what happened with this brain trauma. I got to see when I was learning, I literally had to learn everything, go through every memory that was coming up as it was coming up and literally relearn our business and start tapping into my subconscious and pulling some stuff out. And so the cool thing about this is as I was relearning, I didn't have the stories attached to anything, right? We all create stories in our experiences and it can get in a way sometimes. Well, I had none of that. It was actually perfect. So I literally went through all of the clients we ever worked with prior to this big seizure that I had. and looked at, and in our own business, and looked at, okay, well, what worked when we did this? And like, this, and this happened. Okay, got it. Well, what worked? Like, what didn't work when they didn't get the results? Like, what happened? Like, well, this was missing, or this was missing. Okay, got it. And so this whole model and our entire methodology was created based on that. So if none of this would have happened, then we wouldn't be here today being able to teach what we're about to teach. So I'm going to invite you to get a pen and a paper. If you have it, do this exercise with us. We're going to show you what it's going to take. Ultimately, today we're going to go into, what's going to take to get to six figures. But then once you're about 20 to 30K, 50K if you're an overachiever, and then what you need to do to set your business up to be able to get to 100K. Because 100K in 30 days, it definitely takes something. So I'm not going to make a claim like you're going to do this like in 4 weeks and you're guaranteed and all of this stuff. No, but what I will do is we'll show you the foundations of what it's going to take to first get your whole process and systems in place to get to six figures, and then what you need to put in place to be able to get to that 100K months in 30 days. Does that sound good with everybody?
This is the model Holly was just talking about. When she had lost her memories, she created this from like looking at objectively of what was working for our clients and what was not working for. So if you've seen this before, this model that we're doing, this is actually a completely different training. So don't go, oh, I've already seen this. We're actually doing something completely different with it. So, and that's the power of having a model, right? So the number one thing that everybody here is out for, and we'll go into why you're out for this, is abundance. So that's the number one thing. So we're going to write down abundance nice in the middle there. Then the next thing you're out for is freedom. We kind of already talked about these things. Next is impact. And the third is profit. Now, some of us are still in the business or in the job mindset. So you think of income. What we want to shift you to is more of a running a business mindset and thinking of profit.
And no paid ads equals higher profits.
Indeed.
All right, so we actually have turned this into an exercise so you guys can start discovering for yourself what's missing. Like there's all of these trainings out there that will show you have to do this or this or this. And that's great, and they can be very valuable. And I would like you to discover this for yourself of what your personal business is missing or where it maybe could have improvements, because it's just a lot more powerful that way, right? So ultimately there's three sections to really be able to get this life of abundance, of freedom, of impact, of profit. And first that's going to you have to attract your people. You get to enroll your people. And there is definitely a transformation that's going to happen within the journey. Mm-hmm. So let's break it down. And as we break it down, I want you to rate yourself in each of these areas, whether you're red, meaning like this area is not working for you. It is, has you stopped or stuck, or it is just like not happening. That's a red for you. A yellow is like, yeah, it's kind of working. I think this could definitely have improvement. This could be better. Then I want you to rate yourself yellow. And if you're green, it's like high five, this is working, I got this part. And if you're green, like again, high five, we are not touching anything that isn't broken. Like keep rocking this part. And so what's going to happen is as we go through this model, you're going to see the reds and the yellows in your business. And that's going to give you the like, okay, this is where my focus is.
Yep. Cool. So the first thing that you need to attract consistent clients is really having your messaging down. What your messaging looks like, or what we call it as impact messaging. And so what impact messaging is really getting clear on your niche. So knowing exactly who your perfect client is and what's the specific results that you help them get. So curious so drop your color in the comments. Like, are you green, yellow, red? Now, what you'll notice is, green, it's like people are showing up consistently from your content, from your lives, from speaking out. They're consistently showing up, and you're bringing them into your world. And they're like flocking to you, right? That's like a green situation. If it's yellow, it's like really inconsistent. Sometimes they show up, Sometimes they don't show up. Sometimes, and maybe they show up, but it's the like quote wrong people. Like they're people that don't have money. They don't, maybe they're not committed. Maybe, they're just not really ready to make this transformation. Yep. So that's yellow. Now red is it yellow if we aren't consistent? Yeah, I would say so. So people that aren't committed love you. That's interesting. So then red is like nothing's working at all, right, when it comes to messaging. So next is going to be community. So what community looks like is you're actually being able to attract people into your place, right? A place that you can nurture, that you can build value for, you can create authority, you can do
start building relationships,
all of the things. So if you're green, then you have a process where you're bringing people through, you're like bringing them into a community, you're nurturing them, it's building authority, building deep rapport, and you're able to enroll consistent clients from your community. Yellow is maybe you get engagement, maybe you get a client periodically from your community, but you're not getting consistent clients from there. Red is no community, no engagement, no clients. Next is going to be content.
I just need to move it just a little bit, just to make sure. Sorry.
No worries. All right, so content. So content is your messaging in action and then having structures. This is content. That's something different. That's like
that's a fun little word.
That's a bird, I think.
That's one more time. Content. So your content is really what brings people in. It's sharing value. It's really ultimately when you can bring people in from they don't know who you are, from Adam or Eve, they've never seen you before, to ultimately building that relationship up to they know that you're the person for them, right? Which is, us ultimately this before, like we got started here, we shared our story. We, some of you guys, this is your first experience of us. We want you to know who we are. Just like your prospects, you want to start warming them and start building a relationship with them.
Yeah, and then yellow, so green is your content attracting, it's enrolling. People are showing up on calls and they already know you, they already love you, they already see that you can help them, and then they are becoming clients from your content. Yellow is maybe you have a great attracting client. I had a guy, he might be on here, and he was building this community. He had 1,400 people in his group. He had a podcast that people are consistently listening to. They had to be showing up for some reason, but his nurturing, his warming process was not there, right? The process of taking them from like really showing them how he can help, the specifics of his model and process for doing that, and really the authority based isn't there. Getting them to raise their hand and say, hey, I'm interested, wasn't there, right? So he could attract like crazy, but there was no like enrollment. There's no
invitation.
Yeah, there's no invitations. There's no none of that. So those are the things. So that's that right there.
So couple red, green, yellow. Can see green in my future. Yeah, we want green and all the greens in everyone's future.
And Yvette, it's awesome that you're rocking the green.
Yeah, totally.
And we're going to show you. So that's good. Stay tuned to the next time we come around.
We're going to take this up a level.
Content. Yeah, we're going to take this up a level. So if I had to guess, people right now, if you're green, you're rocking. You're building this community. You got tons of people coming to you. You're building tons of value, all the things, and you're probably getting pretty consistent clients at this point in time.
Yeah, so let's talk about the enrollment process, right? Because you can attract all the people. We've actually worked with the coach. Dude was the best culture, like community builder. It was amazing. And he just didn't have this enrollment piece down. Once we got the enrollment piece down, like he went on fire. He went from literally struggling online to like making maybe $1,000 a month to consistently doing 20K. And I believe he just moved on the beach with his chick, living it up.
Oh, who is this?
John?
Oh, yes. No money. Made $0. So he had all of this down, was making $0, didn't have this aspect, what we're going to get into right now, and he did, I think it was about $60,000 in about 90 days. And now he's doing about $20,000 to $50,000 a month.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah, pretty consistent.
And I know that he just got a condo on the beach.
There you go. Good. High five. Great job. So the next one is this enroll piece, and you need something to enroll people into. Now, if you're brand new, it's totally cool to do one-on-one, but what we recommend is creating something called an Evergreen signature program.
So what an Evergreen signature program is it allows you to continually bring in clients consistently. So you don't have to do launch mode. You're not launching a new container every 8 weeks. You're not launching a new program every 12 weeks. It's not just group coaching. It's not just selling a package. It's really a transformational experience for your clients that doesn't burn you out, and it creates almost like it just creates a really deep and meaningful community and relationships with people.
Yep. So green is this. It makes a deep impact, deep and wide impact, meaning when somebody comes through your signature program, they're completely transformed on the other side of that program. So it makes as much of an impact as a one-on-one relationship program with you, right? So it makes the impact. It has intimacy. So they don't feel like they're like a number. It has a community base to it.
And it's not deli, we call it deli coaching.
Yes.
Like, so you get on and you wait your turn, raise your hand, my turn.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, we're out for you there.
Exactly. And then what else it does, it can handle a bunch of clients. So you're not feeling like you're stuck, right? We had, what you want is when your business explodes and you get this down, you're going to have so many clients wanting to come in that you don't want to be like, oh crap, now how do I serve all these clients? Or holy crap, I don't have a life anymore. Or holy crap, the delivery is going way down because I have these clients. You don't want the results to vary because you have so many clients coming. So green is you can handle a bunch of clients. You can charge whatever you want because it's result based, not hourly based or time based, and it makes a deep impact. And it's really making a difference. It has that community and that intimacy base.
Is Tammy here? Is this maybe a good time to figure
out? That's a great question. Yep, she is here. Tammy, do you want to talk about your results so far with this and just overall being in the program?
Sure.
Awesome.
Hey girl, thanks for hopping on.
This program has been, I don't even know if I have words for it. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been, about 8 years, and I have floundered pretty well on my own. I've hired other coaches. No one really got me. I'm an energy healer, and I find that many coaches don't know how to relate to energy healers. So I struggled a lot trying to find somebody who could support me. And in January, Chad reached out to me, and it's been unbelievable. I wish I had found the two of you so much sooner. I feel like I found somebody who understands my soul, and they're helping me take what sometimes is hard to put into words, from an energetic point, into words. And so grateful for that, and getting the confirmation that I'm on the right path and I'm not nuts. I started with my hot market because I've been seeing clients for years, and I sold right off the bat six people, I believe. So, that showed me that I totally can do this, and I can totally rock it out. Who uses energy in your business?
Oh, I was asking everybody.
Does anyone else here?
Does anybody else use energy? I didn't want to interrupt you. You're going. And I figured I would ask them in the chat.
Yeah, I just was confused for a moment. So I can't imagine building my business without the two of them. They have been instrumental in believing in myself. And when I have those moments of, holy crap, I can't do this, I know who I can reach out to, and they'll tell me, no, let's get back on the horse. Let's figure out what's in your way and keep going. And I cannot be more grateful for that. So thank you guys. I love you both.
We love you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Love you. Awesome.
So that's what you want to create, right? You want to create a transformational experience for your clients, so that when you do free trainings, your clients are here with you.
Yeah.
You really have created this family that I'm just super grateful for. Everyone supports everyone, and it's beautiful. And that's the power of having an Evergreen signature program. I know a lot of coaches are like, oh, one-on-one, I couldn't imagine doing it any other way. And again, this isn't quite group coaching either. It's kind of a unique thing of putting a little bit of everything together. So
Yep.
Rate yourself red, yellow, green on there. And then this next piece is, in order to enroll clients without being pushy, without being salesy, ultimately you get to have an empowered client attraction process. Right? Like literally having a process that you can follow day in, day out, and you know that when the process is followed, clients will come. I'm gonna let you take over while I
Yep, totally. So this is really about, okay, so you create amazing content. Who creates content here, and like you get engagement? I'm just curious on like who's the content creators here. Drop in the chat, let me know. Now, so yeah, Adam, exactly, great example. So it's like you create this amazing content, people seem to love it, but like taking them from like engager to client seems to be like a black hole, right? It's like, how do I do that? Like, I don't get it. Like, I could like like I don't like what's the gap, right? So we've talked about get me out of this black hole. Yes, well, Adam, we're working on it. Let's go. So it's really taking so the empowered client, so if you have a green client attraction pathway, you're able to take somebody from engager to like reaching out and selling you on why they need you. And then you booking the call, and then you taking somebody through an interview process, and then them like demanding that you tell them about your program. Right? They're like yelling at you saying, please sell me your program. Damn it. Like that's, if you do it in the best way, right? Like, I think Adam was going to get mad at me yesterday because I wasn't telling him about the program. But that's the thing is if it's done well, they're screaming at you going, how much is this thing? How do I get started? How do I pay you? Like that's green, right? And then yellow is like, it's like a haphazardly process where sometimes people can go from engager to client, and it's just kind of a wandering path, and it's not a consistent process, right? It's not a consistent process. And then red is like you have all these people engaging and they're loving you and they're like you're the rock star at the thing and they're throwing their panties on stage and the whole deal and you can't close somebody to
That's
say
a new one.
you're like right, so it's like that would be red, right? That would be like a red situation. Cool.
I love you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, so the next piece of this process is the delivery, right? That's great. You have an amazing program that transforms people. It's amazing. You have a process that can bring clients in like continually, and you want to make sure that you're delivering on your word and what you say that you promise to your clients, right? Having a process of how do you create this experience? How do you create the space for your clients? How do you make it where it doesn't feel like nobody feels left out or like they're just a number, or that again, we call it the deli coaching experience. Have you guys ever been in a program? I'm sure you guys have been in lots of programs where you go in into it's a group call and then you have to wait your turn, and then you once it's your turn, you get your coaching, and then you kind of back out and maybe you start scrolling or you kind of check out. Right? That is not what we want to create with our clients and with your program. We want to create it where it's alive. It becomes a community. It becomes a culture. I'll tell you what, there has been people who have co-authored books because of our program together. They've created programs together. Businesses have been created. Collaborations have been made. So you want to really create a culture and where people are literally having an experience like they couldn't imagine not being in your program kind of thing.
Yep.
So cool. So now you have a kind of a wider idea of where are we at. The comments are over here. I don't have the best eyesight. You get to kind of see the model, a bunch of yellow screens.
Yeah. So really quick in the green. So if you have a group process and people are feeling like connected and it's like they know each other, they love each other, and like it's like a camaraderie, right? That would be and everybody's getting a ton of value, and the transformation exceeds the amount that it would be just in a one-on-one setting, then that would be green. If you're in a yellow, it's they're getting value. It's super good. Or it's good. It's just maybe not quite there. You don't really have the confidence to really do different things and have people work together, or it's just like they might get a little lost, or maybe you you're not doing one, so it's group success. So it's like you maybe just started, so it's just a new experience for you. Cool, great job, crushing it, Aileen. So red is like you don't have a group program and you haven't launched one yet, and you're not even sure how that concept could work in your brain, right? Like you're not sure how to make group work. Have not done it. So yeah. So the next one is the 1, 2, 3s, or what we like to call SOPs. So standard operating procedures, for anybody that wants to know words like that. But we like to call it the 1, 2, 3s because it's literally a step-by-step process that you need to do on a daily basis. I'm just curious, whoever goes on social media and I'm going to go get so much done today. So much stuff.
This is going to be the best, most productive day ever.
And then you wake up out of a coma and you go, what time is it? And it's 4 or 5 or 6 o'clock. And you're like, holy crap, I didn't get nothing done. And that would be, what we'll work backwards. So that would be a red situation. A yellow is you kind of have an idea of a couple of things that work, and maybe you do them sometimes, but it's not really consistent, and you're not 100% sure that all of it works, and you're not 100% sure.
I would also put a yellow as if you're working 10, 12-hour days and you're not really moving forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the most frustrating thing. I totally get it.
Yeah, and then if you have this block, I hate social media, that could be because you tried social media and that shit didn't work because you didn't have a process and a system to do on a consistent basis. So now you're resisting it and F social media, right? That could be a thing too.
Yeah.
So,
and then green looks like, you go in, you're focused, you know exactly what you need to be doing. Boom, boom,
you
boom.
set your timers.
Set your timers, get it done. You're done. Awesome. Turn it down and go enjoy your life.
Exactly. So rate yourself: green, red, yellow, red.
Red, yellow, green.
Yes, I got all the colors. I'm a big boy now.
I love you. You're amazing.
Thanks.
So the next piece of the transform arena is really making sure that you're in alignment. This is by far like my most passionate thing about all of this is really making sure that you're in your alignment. I'll tell you what, when I was having my seizures, I was not in my alignment. We were working with everyone. I wasn't passionate about what we were doing. Like I was writing copy for like knee pain doctors, and like I was frustrated because I had created a job for myself and it was miserable. And I like hated my dream like that. There is nothing worse that sucks more than like creating this dream and then hating it. And that's where alignment comes in. It's also what pushed me in, not pushed me, but called me, I think calling would be a better word, called me into soul work to really discover for myself of who I was and what I needed, like how I worked and how I moved and how I used my energy and how I could regulate my nervous system and have a successful business at the same time. So through my own journey, I was actually called into, and I've been working with the quantum field in my healing since my nervous system stuff brought that into a whole different level of alignment as well, where I do a lot of soul work. So what we do here within our program is we go through what's called your Akashic records and discover who you are at soul level, discover all of your gifts, discover like what your life lessons are, like anything that maybe had blocked or have you stuck or stopped or energetic patterns that we can start clearing out. Being in alignment with yourself and being able to recognize blind spots so that you can remove them, so that you can be just fully self-expressed and in your purpose makes the biggest difference. So alignment is huge. So once you rate yourself now, and you know when you're not in alignment, right? It could be things feel forced or they're pushed or they're not moving forward or they just feel like icky or like you just get that meh feeling. Maybe you're just feeling burnt out all the time and you're like putting the work in and you're just tired and exhausted and you're not sure what's going on, probably a yellow. If you're green, like when you're in alignment, right? It's flow, it's momentum, it's like presentness, it's go time, it's or it's not go time and it's like time to rest and you're going to honor yourself for that and like have confidence in your inner authority and your voice and following your guidance. That would be a green.
And we have an alien for that.
Yeah, alien actually, I love seeing all these greens that you're throwing out. Do you mind popping on real quick and just kind of sharing your experience here with us?
Hi guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, I'm like the bad baby of the group. So every section has green and yellow because the truth is I am not consistent. Who knew? We're working on it. Yeah. But this program has been freaking awesome for me. It's terrifying, right? Because I definitely was a coach doing one-on-ones, not having much of an impact, really hating the internet and everything that involved Facebook. I work with energetics, healing work, psychic work, that sort of thing. And I'm a spiritual life coach. So I wasn't reaching anyone because I didn't like their lives, nor did I care for their spirits. So I had no impact, which really sucked. And just tapping in with you guys and really being honest about where my alignment was. And the way that I needed to communicate and show up for myself as well as for others, which was, mind-blowing. And being able to shift that stuff has just been so amazing. I literally just brought in our 9th client into BBS. And we just opened the doors 4-4. So I'm like,
oh my God, bumps everywhere. Warrior women unite. It's coming together. That's amazing.
Where did these people come from? And that's amazing. It's amazing. It's a great feeling. Doing our coaching calls this month and really every call, seeing somebody have an aha moment on every call on every call. It's like they get it, they hear you, we're fixing it, it's better, I'm doing my job. That's the best. And like, I'm just thankful to be a part of you guys' little family. I'll stay back and on campus.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. I love that.
Appreciate you. Awesome.
So that's the power of energetics. I mean, I think we're all pretty clear. There's definitely something to be said about the energy of how we do everything. And so the next piece, so did we rate ourselves? I don't have the chat.
Yeah, so alignment, yes, I did. So they rated themselves on alignment. So the next one is leverage. And really kind of in this phase, we don't really do a ton of automation. We don't do a ton of, the couple of things that we do is,
Go ahead.
so the couple of things we do for in this form is we make sure that you are able to book calls, and then you don't have to go back and forth. So when you're booking calls with potential clients, are you like, Tuesday at 3 o'clock? No, that doesn't work for me. Do you have to go back and forth? Like, that would be like a red situation, like no leverage at all, right? We use Calendly. Actually, we'll be showing you a Calendly link in a minute. What you do, you send that over to somebody and boom, they can book, they can pick their time. You can ask them questions. You can do follow-up with them to make sure that they actually show up for the call. Like, these are some of the things that we do kind of, we teach our clients in what we call our phase 1 program. The other thing we do is just kind of like we do in Zoom here. You registered on a page, but are really integrated with Zoom. So we teach you how to do like a really low tech.
Let's get your low tech, get your offer converting, get your process together, get all of your foundations super strong. So this is all green before we even start talking about like all of the crazy tech stuff.
Because there's no point, right?
Yeah.
And so green is like you can schedule a Zoom meeting and you have follow up there through Zoom, and you're starting to, do some like light list building with them. And then you can also, you're booking calls through Calendly and you have follow up through that. So it's not, you don't have to like constantly be reminding people to show up to calls. And those are like some of the things. They're really low tech stuff. Maybe you would schedule your content in your group that goes out. So that if you have all those things down, put a green. If you have to go back and forth on times, or you're not doing live meetings in Zoom or anything like that, then you're gonna go a yellow. And like red is like you have you're all like a caveman, like bumping people off over the head and pulling them back to the cave essentially.
We don't want that.
Yeah, we don't want that. So that rate yourself there.
Go ahead.
No, so I'm just curious on where everybody is. Rate yourself.
I just want to do a time check.
Yep, time check.
Got Calendly working, need other automation. Totally
Awesome.
Understand that. Evergreen. High
Great.
five, Mark. I know, Mark, you're the
tech machine.
Tech machine. I've been using Control Enter on Zooms and chatbots all the time. Thank you for that.
So what we want to talk about is, so I'm just curious.
So Patrick asked, what do you guys do?
Yeah, what do we do is
all of this.
So we help you get to green. What green looks like is adding an extra $5,000 to $50,000 to your coaching in the next 90 days. If you want help getting green and adding that extra $5,000 to $50,000 to your coaching in the next 90 days, I'm going to drop a Calendly link in the chat. Click that link. It'll open up into a new tab. You can pick a time, and then we can jump on, see if it's a good fit type thing, right? If you are somebody that wants to see what the next level looks like, then you're definitely going to want to stick around for this next part, because we're going to show you not just how to add 5 to 50, but how to add 100.
That's a big gap, by the way.
Yeah.
Because depending on where your experience is, depending on what your audience is, depending on your energy level of how you
confidence
create your confidence, so that we've literally seen people. I will say that you could take this and do all of this on your own. 20 to 30K is like all of this on your own, no team, high five. These are literally the aspects that you need. Make sure you have these and show up consistently. This will get you to 20, 30K. If you are a high achiever, you can get to 50K. I will tell you, you will probably need like a month off afterwards by doing it, and it's possible. So now what we want to do is, again, you do all of this on your own. You're going to start, like, this is where the loops come, and consistency is important when having a business, right? So what you want to do is you want to have your process together that you start bringing in other people so that you can keep the consistency, because those financial roller coasters, and I don't know if you've ever hit a high month and then a low month, and then there's another high month, and then maybe it's like a medium month, and then maybe a high month, and then you're just like burn out. I need to recoup, recharge. I'm taking the month off, or 2 months off, or 3 months off.
Yeah, well, let's see who's going to be honest here. Who sees big like spikes when you have a bunch of clients come in, you have a really good month. That might be 3K, that might be 5K, that might be 10K, that might be 15, that might be 20K for you. But then the next month it goes back down. Yeah. Like who experiences something like that? Like who's seen that?
50K, here I come. Let's go. Patrick, I see this. We are going to go over that. I have some other stuff too that we want to go through. If you like, there's our calendar. I'd love to book a call and we can talk more about that. And I want to make sure that we get to our time that we promised to, because integrity is huge for us. So ultimately what we do is we help you put all of this together, and we can talk more about the details a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
next,
what you want to do. So this is your foundations, right? We're huge on building strong foundations. Once you have this down, I would actually, if you keep this and maybe write in a different color. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Blue.
Perfect. So now, once you've gotten, 20, 30, again, 50K if you're an overachiever and you have a ton of energy and you're just ready to go. Now it's time to get to that 100K, right? We signed 120K clients. We have our little, we even got an award for it. Like, there you go.
I don't know if you can
spot it out.
Okay, well,
we are someone, we do what we teach. And so what we teach works with us. And we also have clients that has made a huge contribution, and they're doing this and their lives are changing as well. So I just wanted to get that clear. We do what we teach. So moving forward, once you're at 20, 30, ideally 20 to 30, again, depending if you're a projector, if you're into human design at all, if you're a projector, I would recommend getting a team probably around 5K.
Yeah, yes.
Just keeping it real. we gotta keep your energy levels in alignment with who you are. So what we want to do is we want to start moving up and upgrading a notch. So you have your impact messaging. It's the same thing. You always want to attract, enroll, and then transformation.
I just want to add one thing to that. Sometimes you'll see it's like Adam's situation where he's attracting like crazy, right? Like he has this huge kind of following, like he doesn't really even notice, but he has this like following of people, but like there's so many people and he's like attracting, but he doesn't have this enroll thing down. He could literally start implementing some of this phase 2 stuff and then go boom, and things will just freaking explode for him, right? And so so it's sometimes people, maybe your skill set is really good at creating amazing content, but it's not in over here. You can jump into this phase 2 stuff because you can get stuck, right? Like he could come in and he's like, all right, I'm going to do all this stuff. And maybe his skill set just isn't in this realm, right? Like there's some sort of block, right? And he might need to hire somebody, and we'll talk about the people that you're going to hire to do this stuff for you. So if you have like great momentum and you're getting engagement and all this stuff, and you're not getting to these money levels, you might still need this. Awesome. Is it Casper's? Is that spelled? Did I get that? Perfect. Let's follow up, man.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right, so let's get into this. So what the Evergreen Marketing Machine is exactly what you're seeing this is. right? If you think about it, is you opted in through a page that had some maybe case studies, that had some like good, like some copy on it that like was compelling enough to get you to put your email, your name, and your phone number. And now we're like sending you text messages. We're sending you emails. We're sending you a follow-up. And then it integrates with Zoom so that now they can show up. And Zoom reminds them, hey, show up to this thing. And
it's ultimately setting up where your business starts becoming like a machine. Like you have this marketing machine. So whether you're there or not, like it's still going. And there will be times I say that I don't believe in like full automation, especially in the world of transformation. Transformation is people to people, right? So creating this marketing machine that you're still a part of and that is building relationships as we go, because that is so important. That's actually the second thing here to do is
so what you're going to want to rate yourself. So it's basically a system that it's attracting people, right? It's attracting, it's nurturing, and it's following up, and it's booking calls. And really having this process down where it's working on a regular basis for you. So if you have something that is just converting on a consistent basis, it's attracting new people, it's nurturing, it's doing all the things, then you want to then you're in a green, right? If you are yellow, then maybe you have a process, but it's not quite evergreen. You're doing maybe like these pop-up training, but then it's like, it's basically done, right? Like it's done after it's done. Like there's no, you're not using the system ongoing. So that's the point of evergreen, is that like this training we will be using for the next 6 months, so that
even though we didn't record the first
we might record that separately and edit it together. But anyways,
I think it's perfect because we're human and we're authentic, and that's ultimately, what you got to always include in the machine. So
Indeed.
People keep your authenticity.
Yeah, exactly, because you don't want to become a robot.
Yeah.
And then you agree. Then red is nothing, right? You don't have any systems. There's no process to consistently attract and enroll people. So rate yourself green, yellow, or red.
Here. And now on this next piece, community. So having a community is great. Having a Facebook group is awesome. But man, to build a culture. And I would even say not just a culture within your audience and have like this great following, but a culture also within your paid community and your paid clients. And I would also say a culture, like we're out for our company to be like the best place for people to work at. We want our team to, eat, sleep, and breathe and believe in what it is that we do. We have an incredible team. We meet them every single morning. So being able to create this culture within, your entire business and the people around it.
Yeah. So this is like, culture is this. It's like, it's sticky. It creates this, like, you love people, like people that you're a part of their culture, you love them, right? Like if a wild knife person wielding a knife ran up on stage and somebody like Tony Robbins, the freaking audience would maul them to death, right? And that's ultimately what you want, because those people they're getting, their life is transforming. They are obviously getting tons of value from you. They'll do, like,
you start building something that's bigger than yourself.
Exactly. So you're building, because it's not about Tony, it's about the movement or whatever, right?
Yeah. I would say Elon Musk, he's a big hit right now.
There you go.
Like he started off as like a guy with a dream of electric cars, right? And he created this Tesla culture. And now, we all seen, if you haven't seen what just happened with Twitter, then maybe you're not on social media. Right. Even if you don't pay attention, it's there.
Even if you don't agree with it, it's like it's there, and people would like kill for Elon Musk, right? Not that That's
Yeah,
what we're
that's
out
what-
for,
that's
but
what
it's
it is.
just definitely a thing, right? So green is like that culture. It's like that connection. Yellow is like you're starting to build it. You're starting to build your movement, right? Your movement is something bigger than yourself. It just maybe hasn't grabbed steam yet. And then red is like, you're still kind of just
Nothing's moving in the movement.
Nothing's movement. It's constipated.
There you go.
The unmovement.
Yes.
So that is
Red,
culture building.
green. Awesome. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me a bit.
Next is
So now that you have your content, now it's time to start putting a system behind the content. So being able for content syndication. That's not quite spelled right. It's like vacation, but it's all good. So syndication, meaning there is a process that you are consistently showing up every day. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're burning yourself out just because your business shows up every day doesn't mean that you're necessarily showing up out in the world, creating content every single day, day in, day out. Like I'm telling you, it's great at first and it's inspiring and awesome. And over time, like, can I have a day off of social media, please?
Yeah, so content syndication, green looks like this. This training right here is going to turn into at least 20 to 100 and some pieces of micro content that could be going on Instagram, could be going on YouTube Shorts, it could be going on YouTube in general, it could be scheduled in our group, it could be on stories, it could be in all the things. So we have a video syndicator, somebody that chops up our pieces of content, bigger trainings, and now boom, we have like all kinds of pieces of content that that we can use over and over again. So that's green. Yellow is maybe you have somebody that shares the larger piece, so this piece on multiple platforms, and doesn't do maybe the editing or the putting the cool little banner at the top and putting the hook and all those things, right? And then red is like your content. It's basically stationary. It's like you made it. It's staying where it is. So
Time to make some more.
Time just making some more. Yeah, right. And then you're on this content hamster wheel. So next is
now let's move into the enroll piece.
Yes.
So again, we're sticking with this, really ultimately attract, enroll, and you're going to transform through the process. I promise you. Mm-hmm. So, your Evergreen Signature program, now that you have that going, well, now it's time to start creating some monthly recurring revenue for you. Creating, what can you create for phase 2? Keep your clients in the conversation, that they're continually getting value and continually staying within this culture and being able to create even more for themselves. What's the next level for them? Yep. Being able to create that for them.
Yeah, so this green is like when they graduate your program. This is the thing. Every program solves a problem. Our phase 1 problem solves the problem of having consistent clients. It solves the problem of having a program that can handle a bunch of clients and that is really making a deep impact with everyone. And it really works on the personal alignment aspect of you, right? But the problem it creates is that now you have all of these people coming to you. Aileen's running into it right now. She has all these people to talk to, all these conversations, people wanting to work with her, and like all these.
And now she's having consistency problems in other areas because she's probably talking to so many people who want to join her that being able to show up consistently is like a challenge.
Yep. And so now it's the question of when they graduate the phase, what we call phase 1, then what do we do next? And that creates something called monthly recurring revenue, where you want to be able to have somebody for a longer term basis. It's not just a short term result basis. This is like a bigger vision for them. What's the next level? What's the thing that's going to be the next step up? You're seeing our next step up, right? This is what we do is we get you to that 5 to 50 in that 90-day window. Then we're going to get you to 100 to 500 over a year period.
Yeah.
See, Regina, awesome.
I love it.
Get that movement.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
So, so green is like you have a very clear second phase program that, as soon as they graduate, they move right into that program, and people are converting, and they're showing up, and you have this monthly recurring revenue coming in. It's like, and it's freaking, it's awesome, right? Yellow is maybe you have like a renewal, like, hey, you can do this program again if you want. You can, there's a little bit more you can learn type thing, but it's not like a really clear structure. Or maybe we had a client, she was doing group programs. She had 3 group programs going that were launched at different times. And they would graduate into a one-on-one program, which caused her to be freaking so burnout. And just kick him out. I was just going to kick him. No, you don't want, screw that. No, you want to create something for them, right? Because you can get them to one level. It's like an onion. Transformation is an onion. And what's that next level for that? It's just like out of the nest. Get out.
Get out of here. Go fly.
Yes.
And that's totally cool too.
Yeah, totally cool. So you
want to rate yourself there. And this next piece is, we have the empowered client attraction process, in phase 1, up to 30 to 50K. You have this process going, and now to build that consistency and to start creating where you can scale, it's time to build your dream team.
Yep.
So let's talk about your dream team.
So your dream team, we have something called a treasure hunter. Your treasure hunter finds your perfect clients. They go out there and they post and they create engagement and they have conversations and they move people to your next step, to your community. And they kind of start building a little bit of a relationship. Then you have your messenger. What your messenger does is they have conversations as your behalf or as like an assistant. Either way, you get to choose on which way you want to go with that. Yep, it's all alignment. And they build rapport. They give them trainings to watch, and then they book calls, right? And then the next step is having a setter. What a setter is somebody that is, they are a pre-screener to make sure that somebody's a good fit. It's a short 15-minute call. We do them here with us. I'm actually still the setter. So I'm still like, we don't have all of this down. I know. And we're still rocking, right? We've had a couple of setters. And so like having a setter, so doing a 15-minute call to make sure people are good fits, and pre-screening them. And then what next is what we call the enroller. The enroller is the person that really gets the vision of what your potential client wants, what's so right now, and what's the gap. And they really pull out their vision of what and they create a strategy, they create a plan, and they really get people like to see that it's possible, right? To see see that there's something possible. And those are the different areas or the different part of your dream team that you need. So if you have all of them, then you're green. If you're maybe yellow, maybe you have an assistant that does some posting for you. Maybe you have some people responding to some messages. That would be a yellow. Red is like you don't have anybody. It's you're like the solopreneur, which nothing wrong, right?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So this next part is group success, right? We're all about awesome with the programs, awesome with the processes and everything, and we really want to make sure that we are creating a transformational experience with our clients. It's so important that you have a group success model and a way to deliver with all of this so that we're in integrity, and integrity is huge for us. How do we do this? How do we keep growing the more clients we go in? And we don't want our clients to ever feel like a number when we start bringing in success coaches. I will say our success coaches are also part of our dream team now. So they are all connected.
Yeah, totally. So success coaches, so this is somebody that maybe you're done. You're like, you don't want to do the one-on-ones anymore. And you're like, I want somebody to come in to do the one-on-ones. Or this could be somebody that helps facilitate some of your groups. Maybe you have multiple groups on a weekly basis and they do some of the groups. Maybe you have clients that are like, hey, I want to help your people and I want to start coming and doing trainings for them to help them break through different things. We have that all the time because, well, we work with amazing people. Mm-hmm. And so green is like you have somebody handling the delivery for you. Maybe you're mostly out of one-on-ones. Maybe you're doing
unless you like one-on-ones, because I will say I still do one-on-ones, and it's not because like I have to do all this and need someone else to do it for me. I genuinely love them.
Mm-hmm. And I love it too. And it's like I do 30-minute check-ins every like 90 days with people, and or every not every 90 days, every like 45 days or so.
And I do the alignment. Yeah, and I do the alignment sessions because I just love them.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's so you get to choose how involved or not. So it's like, I guess it's really the choice. Alignment, so right? It's like, yeah. Because so it's
all about your alignment and creating this that it fits.
So green is you choose on how much you're working in your business on the delivery and you're doing 100% of what you want to, not that you have to. And so yellow is you have some support, you have some people there to be there with you, but you're still, maybe they're not trained to a level of being able to do everything that you want them to do, or maybe they're not quite there yet, right?
I know our support coaches, so we have one-on-one, so we want to make sure that we have lots of one-on-one, like our clients get support. If anyone says like, I don't feel supported, like, okay, where do we need to go back to where you were a kid? You genuinely have so much support.
Drugs are bad.
Yeah. So I think we actually even have our support coaches here. So shout out Tracy and Frederick. Thank you for everything you guys do. You're amazing.
Yes, thank you. So that's the next one.
So now it's time to
go ahead.
Rate yourself.
You rate yourself.
Rate yourself. Red, yellow, green.
Yep. Next is...
All right, let's get to the transform, because this is a journey that we are moving through as you go to 5 to 50K and transforming in from being that solopreneur to really having that CEO upgrade, right? It's just a different type of mindset. Your focus is on a different type of things. You're now starting to work on the business, not in the business. What does that look like? What is... as you start having a team to do the things that you were doing and being consistent, like, is it time to go lay out by the pool, or are you creating, like, how do you manage your team? How do you create this culture within it? Like, how do you plan where everyone's all on the same page together? It's a different type of transformation that, to be honest, as we started going through that transition, it was a huge, all right, I had my CEO upgrade, all right? And I'm telling you, it has been it's been amazing, and I'm super grateful. And it's definitely a transformation that you get to have. So that's why this is a big, important pillar in all of this.
Yeah, so some of the things we do for the CEO upgrade is we do time studies to see where you're spending your time. So what are you focusing on that is, so these...
So it's not your genius.
What's not your genius?
What's not your soul gifts? And... what do we need to do to get you so where you're literally operating within your soul gifts, and really being in your genius zones?
Yeah, because it's who do we need to hire on your dream team first, right? It's maybe you love doing parts of it. Maybe you're really good at what of it. Okay, so then we do, what's the part that's not your gifts, and who do we hire first? This is part of this. Another thing, part of this is having an executive assistant. This is somebody to do all the if you're organizational stuff that maybe as a visionary entrepreneur you don't want to do anymore. I know I don't want to do. Having, and then this is starting into getting into paying other people to do cut your lawn and do your laundry and clean your house and these type of things. It's because when you're coming from the CEO point of view, your time is very valuable, and you get to start replacing yourself in the places that can be replaced.
Yeah, honestly, like I was so against having someone do our laundry. I'm like, no, like I can do my laundry. It's fine. Like it's personal. I don't want anyone to do that. And I think somehow it got set up I don't know how, or the conversation, and it happens. It happens. And I went into my closet and I didn't realize it happened. And I looked and my laundry pile was empty. And I had my clothes like hanging up. And it was the most like, oh my God, I understand. It was an upgrade for me, people. Like to have my laundry done was the most incredible day ever.
No, Chad did not do
Chad
laundry.
did not do the laundry. No. Listen, Jenna, yeah, exactly. This is peeking into the future. These are the things that this is what it's gonna look like. And we want to be really transparent. Like, yes, we've done, and these are the things that it's taken to put in place. So as you're creating your foundations, I like to say knowing the whole picture to see everything that it is that you really need to focus on and to see. So I hope you're seeing like a lot of like your reds and your yellows. If those are really the main areas that you want to start with first.
Yeah.
And that's why we do that. So the next piece here is the alignment. So first it's your alignment with yourself. It's discovering who you are, who your gifts are, how you use your energy, how you create best, stepping into that. And as you start getting clients, as you start implementing all of this and you start getting money coming into your business, what happens is your business actually turns into its own energetic entity. And it can be broken down into pieces through your offers, your marketing, your sales, your contributors, your systems within your business, and your clients that you're attracting in. Right. So what we do with our phase 2 is we then do, instead of a personal alignment, we do a business alignment. So we go through every quarter to see what is, when we say business alignment, you have your financial intention. So be it like, let's say it's 100K a month. You're out to make 100K a month. So what is in your business that is not in a frequency alignment with 100K? Right? It could be your cover photo. It could be your verbal content. It could be your attitude in your sales calls. If you have any doubt within yourself, it could be your business systems. If you keep using, a landing page thing and it's just not freaking working for whatever reason, like I can't believe how many times, like the things that come up, just making those little shifts of what's that. It's literally been.
Yeah. So this really came from the chair. So this award, we came specifically from a business alignment. So we were doing about $20,000 to $30,000 a month consistently, which that sounds great, but it's not where we wanted to be. We'd already done 50K in a month, and high five, but not where we're going for bigger, right? And Holly did an energetic alignment. Like, okay, what's out of alignment for 100K in a month? And so she did the thing, and she's like, change this, change this, change this. And boom, we did a Joe Dispenza meditation. And the next month, $120,000 in signed clients in the month. And that was it, like just changed my whole, I was like, I kind of believed in energetic stuff. But when that happened, it was like, okay, go see what's out of alignment. This isn't working. What's going on? I feel like, yeah. So rate yourself. So if you are aware that your business is an energetical entity and it can be out of alignment outside of your personal self, right? Then
where are you going?
I'm going down.
I see that.
Yeah.
Jot down. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. So then you're able to check in on if you're aligned on a business level or not. Then it's good enough for me. Green. If you maybe were like, holy crap, it's like if your business, I don't know how would you explain this part?
What?
Yellow. How would you explain business alignment on a yellow?
Well, it's a lot
Because
of
I think most
like,
people don't. Even
yeah,
know.
I'm doing all of the things, and there's something that's not working, or it looks on paper like everything should be together, and it's not. If you're ultimately not reaching, if you're not at your financial goal and your financial intention, there's something out of alignment. Otherwise, you'd have it, right? So I don't know how to be more clear than that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Energy has absolutely amazing abilities. Yeah, meditations are super good. Definitely do that. And then I use a lot of the quantum field and the Akashic records in this type of work. That's where my modality and where my study's been for years. So
yes, there'll be a replay besides the first 20 minutes. And so
this last piece.
So yeah, rate yourself on the business alignment right now.
And so this last piece here, and I know because I just want to be honoring of time, we may go, I said hour and a half tops, we may go a few minutes over, but I do want to honor your time and honor my word and what I said. So this last piece is having leverage, right? So where, you got your Calendly together, you're starting to build some basics without the tech. Well, now it's time to start building your list, right? We got to start creating your machine. You have areas that are working, now it's time to really be able to scale. You got to have now it's time for the funnels. It's time for your email list. It's time for your evergreen webinars. It's
having a lead magnet. So who has a book here? Who's an author? I'm just curious. Like, have you thought of giving your book away as a lead magnet for your coaching and having it in a system where you can actually generate leads and book calls from that? So those are some of the things that can do, right? Having a book as a lead magnet, congrats. Having a book as a lead magnet is super powerful because then you can start generating leads, you can book calls, you can do all kinds of different things, right? But not just a book, right? It could be just
a podcast. It could be.
It could be, like just like a cheat sheet or something like hey, 5 things.
15-minute VSL that's worked really well for us.
Yep, VSL.
Could be meditations that you're giving away, like free meditations. Yep. We can get into that. But ultimately what you're doing is you're starting to take all of your social media, putting them into a list and start automating some processes for you and starting to build that relationship that way so that things can literally start working that even, when you're sleeping, you may wake up and someone booked a call. That's the ideal kind of situation of something that's just going to start bringing you leverage because the more leverage you have, then you can have that freedom, you can have that impact, and you can have the profit all together.
Yeah. So Adam, we use ClickFunnels for our funnels and different things. It's good. There's some things that we love about it. The cool thing is when you get into our phase 2 of our program, we give you funnel templates. So you just have to replace our stuff with your stuff, and we give you the direction of how to do that. So it becomes super easy for you to replicate and create your own processes.
That, and we also help train your team, like your dream team.
Yes.
So your team comes on board with us and we will help you get your team to be successful so they are that dream team.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of support calls. They can come to any of the calls and I'll coach them, Holly will coach them on whatever they need to do and so that they're the most effective. Also, currently they can get access to our phase 1 portal. We're creating a training platform specifically for your dream team and for their specific area. So that's something we're currently in the process of creating.
Yeah. So fun stuff coming and fun stuff happening. And for you guys too. So, we've been together. We've spent the last hour and a half together. I honor and appreciate you. Thank you so much that you are still here.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just curious, what was the most valuable part of this training? Let us know in the comments. I'm going to drop the link. So if anybody wants to jump on a call and really kind of see if it's a good fit, see if you're, if you're wanting to get to that 5 to 50, or if you are somebody that is I want to go all the way. I'm committed to getting to that 100 to 500K.
There's someone here that's making like already at maybe 10 or 20. And you're like, oh, all right, I'm ready, let's go. Let's talk about what do I need to do to get to this 100K to 7 figures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's book that call. Yeah, and I would love to, just kind of hear from what's been the most valuable from everyone. Why everybody has a chance to.
Will there be a replay? Oh, okay, you already got that one.
Yeah.
Okay, second check.
Oh, no worries, Megan.
Yeah, we will have a replay. You missed out the first 20 minutes. You didn't realize that we didn't have a record button on, but it's still really good.
Oh, you're good to go tomorrow. Hell yeah, dude. Congrats.
Awesome.
Made that happen fast. I like it.
Very good. So ultimately, the goal is to get you guys to green so that you can go out there and really make a difference with your coaching. So you can go out there and be in your alignment with your truth and what you're creating and the purpose that you're here for and the gifts that you're here for so that you can make that transformation with other people. We're here to support you. We've figured out the path. So, let's have a call. It's just a conversation. We actually don't do any sales on the first call at all. It's literally just getting to know each other, seeing what it is that you're up to and what your vision is.
Unless we've already done a call and you're just like wanting to throw your credit card at me, I will make an exception.
There you go.
But most for everyone else. So yeah, so for anybody that is, we haven't done this in a while. I want to just kind of do this because I just have a feeling that somebody has a question. And anybody else that you're free to go.
Let's book a call, have a
conversation.
Let's
book a call, jump on a call, see if it's a good fit. But if anybody wants to unmute and ask a question, feel free.
Cool. And so for everyone that's on here too, and feel free to jump on. Ultimately.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, and you?
Awesome. I'm doing awesome.
Chad, and Holly, I identify with you a lot, and Chad with you too. I've just done a post on Facebook, a paid post. I got 9,800 and something odd likes.
Nice.
I got from organic and inorganic, it was plus minus about 50% of each.
Mm-hmm.
But out of that, I got 2 signups. What am I doing wrong?
Yeah,
so
what's the price point?
Well, the price point, I haven't even gotten to the price point yet because this was to set up
you
a
said
freebie.
Signups. Oh, it's for
freebie.
So
yeah, it's hard to say like what that was. What's coming to me is the message to who you're talking to and what it is that they want. If there's like a mismatch there and only out of 900 people, only 2 got it, it may not be clear of the problem that it's solving for them. Right? So people want, like, on the people who don't know who you are, they know they have, typically they don't really know what the problem is. They know like what their pain is going through, or on the flip side of that, it doesn't have to be pain points. It can also be what it is that they want to create in their life. So it sounds like it might be a messaging thing.
Okay.
And that's without looking at it.
It was basically don't hide or be ashamed of the depression that you're going through in the work situation.
I'm not sure if that came.
Can you say that one more time?
Okay. Let me give you the exact words.
Thanks, Adam. Appreciate you.
See you tomorrow, man.
Now I can't find it. Oh, yeah. I empower women who are struggling with depression in the workplace.
Okay.
So that's not giving them a clear solution for their problem. right? It's saying that you do something, but maybe that's not what they want. They might not necessarily want to be empowered. They want
Okay.
they want a solution for their depression.
All right. The other bit that I put in there as well is don't be ashamed of having depression. There is always a unique person who wants to start a new fun-filled life.
Yeah, a better thing would be, what is the lead magnet? The freebie?
Beg pardon?
What's the freebie?
Well, the freebie was to book a strategy session with me for an hour.
So yeah, so it's not clear to them that the call is going to solve that problem.
Okay.
And yeah, so I think that's really what it's about. And then committing to an hour, jumping on an hour call with somebody that they don't know is a lot. So we don't go straight to booking calls with people. We want to give them value in the front, and then nurture them, give them like more value and build rapport and show them how we can help. And
because then it just becomes then you have to like sell them.
Yeah.
So then you're doing this through, and then it's got to switch over to sales where you think there's got to be some more warming there.
Exactly.
Okay. Because I do weekly videos live every Friday. And that way I have built up quite a big Facebook group.
Awesome.
So it's better to get people to that Facebook group and then book calls from the Facebook group than try to go straight from a cold ad that they have no clue who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I was a bit skeptical of having such a good view and then not getting the return on the clicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's good.
How do you build on your Facebook group? It's really about adding value to other people. But let's end this here. If you want to jump on a call, we could go all day. Click the link, pick a time, watch, fill out the questions, and then there'll be some more like case studies, results on the next page. Watch as many as possible, and we will see you on the call.
Okay.
All right, you guys have
super.
3 seconds.
Thanks.
To link.
Absolutely.
1, 2,
Thank you
3.
guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.